As the world watches Western economies struggle with inflation and stagnation, something powerful is brewing on the other side of the globe. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are aligning themselves like never before. Their shared goal? To challenge the financial dominance of the West. Together, the BRICS countries account for over 40% of the world's population and nearly a quarter of global GDP. For years, this group has sought to create alternatives to the US dollar-dominated financial system. Now their efforts seem to be accelerating, with a focus on strengthening their own currencies and perhaps even introducing a shared currency. But why now? What's driving these nations to consider such a bold move? For years, the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency, a powerful tool for the West to maintain its global influence. Yet, the recent economic downturns and political tensions between the US and major players like China and Russia have prompted the BRICS countries to rethink their financial strategies. In recent discussions, BRICS leaders have hinted at plans to create a new currency basket, or even a single BRICS currency, to challenge the dominance of the dollar and euro. Such a move could fundamentally disrupt the balance of global power. At the same time, gold, often considered a safe haven asset in times of economic uncertainty, has been quietly climbing towards all-time highs. In fact, many economists believe this surge in gold prices is no coincidence. With inflation eroding the value of fiat currencies, including the US dollar, many nations, particularly those in BRICS, are increasing their gold reserves. Russia, for example, has been rapidly accumulating gold in recent years, while China has remained one of the world's largest gold buyers. As these countries seek to reduce their reliance on the US dollar, gold is emerging as a central component in this financial pivot. The idea of the US dollar losing its status as the world's primary reserve currency has long been dismissed as unlikely by many Western economists. After all, the dollar is entrenched in global trade, with oil and other commodities priced in dollars. But that dominance is weakening. Countries like China and Russia have already begun pricing some of their international trade in alternative currencies, such as the Chinese yuan or even rubles. If BRICS nations continue down this path, we could witness the beginning of the end for the US dollar's hegemony. But what would a BRICS currency look like? Some experts suggest it could be a digital currency, backed by a basket of commodities like oil, natural gas, and of course gold. By leveraging their vast resources, BRICS nations could offer a more stable alternative to the volatile, fiat-based currencies in the West. In fact, Russia and China have both expressed interest in using blockchain technology to settle international transactions. This would allow BRICS to bypass Western financial systems, including the SWIFT network, which would allow them to continue international trade even in the face of potential sanctions or financial isolation. If successful, the BRICS initiative could send shockwaves through Western economies. A decline in the US dollar's role as the global reserve currency would make it harder for the United States and Europe to finance their debts, as demand for their currencies would decrease. For years, the US has benefited from its exorbitant privilege, the ability to borrow cheaply from the rest of the world because of the dollar's status. If BRICS nations pull this off, it could make borrowing far more expensive for the US and other Western nations, leading to higher interest rates, inflation, and financial instability. The financial realignment also has broader geopolitical consequences. A stronger BRICS bloc could shift global alliances and power dynamics, reducing the influence of the US and Europe on the world stage. Countries like Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Indonesia have already expressed interest in joining BRICS, further boosting its clout. Additionally, China's Belt and Road Initiative, an ambitious project to develop infrastructure across Asia, Africa, and Europe, aligns with BRICS's goals, creating a vast trade and investment network that could rival Western economic institutions like the IMF and World Bank. The future of global trade may look very different if BRICS continues to strengthen its economic ties and develop alternatives to Western-dominated financial systems. We could see a world where oil is priced in yuan, natural gas in rubles, and gold-backed digital currencies become mainstream. This shift wouldn't happen overnight, but with the current pace of geopolitical and economic change, the world may be witnessing the dawn of a new financial era, one where BRICS plays a central role, and the West is forced to adapt to a multi-currency, multipolar world. While Western economies face internal struggles, the BRICS nations are making moves to reshape the global financial system. And as gold continues to soar, the world must ask itself, how long before the dollar's reign ends and a new global currency emerges? Stay tuned, because the world of finance is changing faster than ever.